morning, and it's been a long time. Today's 22nd of May. It's a Friday. You know, I've been really studying about photography, aperture, shutter speed, ISO, and what I discovered was that you really need to focus on what you're doing and find the right style that you're trying to capture. Now, I've found my own style and I like it so far, and I'll reveal that as I go on in my channel, so it's nothing important now or groundbreaking to talk about. However, what I discovered is how to avoid noisy pictures. And noisy pictures when you get some grains in these pictures and so forth. And these are things that you need as a photographer going forward on your journey. That's what I learned for me. What I would like to do is now start tapping into the different focal lengths that I want to test out. Now, I found my perfect focal length for me is 28mm. That's my amazing focal length I like. But I've started 35 and I've also started like 50. So it depends what I'm trying to capture, what I'm trying to share with you out there. So if I look at the example of my Q343, I have a Leica. So basically I got Leica cameras, Fujifilm, and these are my two brands. I looked at some of these Sonys and Canons and so forth. They're nice cameras, but what I wanted to do for me is different. You see, everyone's different. If you want the latest and greatest in speed and so forth, then you get the latest and greatest in speed. But I thought about this today just now as I was driving. I was thinking, why did I go for the Leica experience? And actually, you know what? Why did I go for manual cameras now, which I'm using, which I have M bodies as well. So I have a Q, I have an M, and I have an SL. SL is a fast shooter for me, kind of like your Sony and so forth. I'm not going to debate who's the best, but for me, I chose Leica for a reason, and if you watch my channel, you'll know why I went with Leica. Anyway, so looking at the M experience, what I loved about the M experience, it tells you to think of what you're doing, not just, take your photos and spray every shot you see. You've got to think about everything you're going to take a picture of, what you're trying to capture. And it's that feeling you get when you're taking these photos. It's just an amazing experience. Now, some may not like slowing down or, taking their pace when they're taking pictures. Everyone's different. But I found that with the M series of my Leicas, which is the all fully manual, I just love every moment taking a picture. There's a learning curve to it, by the way. But if you understand the three basics of ISO, shutter speed, and aperture, you'll be smooth sailing. It's just so simple to understand. Don't focus more on the ISO. ISO controls the noise of your pictures, is what I've learned. You gotta have the two main key parts that you need to focus on: your aperture, that allows light in and how you wanna get the that bokeh effect and so forth in the background. And then you look at the shutter speed as well, that plays a role. But first, understand your aperture more before you start playing with ISO. ISO is something that, again, as I said, you control how much noisy your picture is. But shutter speed is something also that you should play around with. What I've discovered that sometimes I'm the 500, sometimes 250, sometimes 125. And it's different moments that I change shutter speed. But the aperture is something that I love using as well. So the lower the number is more where the blades inside the lens is open, and it gives that more bokeh effect. So if you're sitting there trying to look for capturing maybe a certain visual only and blur out the background, then just step it down all the way and bring it up to the lowest number. So whatever your lens goes to, f2, f1.8, whatever. And that's why I discovered that for me, I'm loving anything below the f2. Now f2 and above is something I want if I want to capture everything. But if I want to focus on pinpointing one person or one object in the picture, then I'm definitely going for that bokeh effect. Again, this is something that you need to discover yourself. But what I've been focused on really is not about getting that perfect picture. First, I need to understand how I can get the perfect picture by capturing the right picture with less editing. So the more raw it is, the more better it is for me, because that's when I'm going to start adding on my magic touches when it comes to color and editing. So this is what I've focused on. I'm going to start focusing on getting that perfect picture in my eyes. It could be perfect for me and you think it's rubbish, but that's just life. So once I've understood how I can get the picture less noisy, less distorted from what I'm doing, and focus always sharp, and then I can start playing around with edits. And I found the color that I like, honestly, that I'm going to start playing around with it and then save as my preset setting in my Lightroom. I haven't used Capture One because it's a bit complicated for me at the moment. I like it simple. So Lightroom for me at the moment is working fine, and I've started to play around with Lightroom, and it's been interesting. So I found already some presets that I've created, I've saved as my preset. So later on down the journey, at least when I take my raw photos, if I want to edit, I'll just add my little magic touch to it and then just go. And that's what it's all about, you see. That's what it's all about. You got to find yourself. So I'm trying to tell you out there that don't rush it, take your time. You know, I remember when I first grabbed a normal non-action camera, I wanted to learn so much so quick, but you can't. So I just broke it down into 3 simple steps. Focus on what Aperture does, understand it, then move on to the next one. And just keep doing that, because if you try to take all that information at once, it's hard. It's gonna confuse you more, you're gonna get frustrated. So I also picked up a rangefinder, yes, a Leica M 11P, and that camera is just something on another level, let me tell you. But so far I've been amazed of how easy it's for me to use, because I heard a lot of people saying that it's very hard to, you know, get in focus and so forth. But for me, I found it naturally to focus really good. And if I take a picture, let's say, sorry, if I take 10 pictures, maybe 1 or 2 is out of focus. But again, that's me understanding my lens. That's why I'm out of focus. That's what I've discovered. And understanding where I can push the boundaries more than what I can. So again, just find your balance of what works for you. Find the camera that's right for you, and just keep creating beautiful pictures and content. That's what it's all about. Right, I'm gonna stop this for now, and I'm gonna leave you all and wish you all a good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Remember, check out my playlist, because I have a lot of content there. I've got enough videos to keep you binge watching for a while. And now on my new journey of change on my channel, as I said, I took a break to focus on understanding how my camera works, and that's where I've been, and that's why I've been AWOL. Just learning, advancing myself, and just upgaming my skills, what I'm learning as a new photographer. But I'm not new to the action camera game or videography, that's what it's called. I've got a lot of experience there, but now I'm tapping into still pictures, which I've always liked doing and tapping around and playing around with. But now I'm just going to push it up even further, because now I have the tools for me to paint the light with. Right, YouTube's going to recommend you something after this. It could be from my channel or somebody else's channel. If you have the time, you know what to do, watch it. And don't forget to like the video, because it helps my video reach out, millions out there who want to watch my content. And remember, if you're not subscribed, I'd love to have you on my journey. And that's it for today. I'll see you on the next one. I am out.